1.21 is a better update than you thought. Today I'm going to go through the things that we saw at the beginning from Minecraft Live way back in October. I'm going to go through the things that we got along the way and where we're sitting now, and then I'm going to go through some things that I think are really important to this update. And I want to kind of have this whole video tied together to say that Minecraft 1.21 is way better than what you initially thought it was. For those of you who are on the fence and aren't totally convinced that this is a fantastic update, I want to go through some of the crazy stuff. Of course, we knew about the armadillo and the wolf. We knew that we were getting dog armor. What we didn't know is that we were getting 8 total wolf variants, new dogs, which is fantastic. The community has wanted dog variants for a very long time. We've had cat variants for a while, so it's only natural that we get dog variants as well. But beyond this, what did we actually see in Minecraft Live? We saw new tough blocks, new copper blocks. We saw the trial chambers themselves, the breeze, the trial spawner, the crafter, and the copper bulb. All of these are fantastic additions to the game. Of course, the trial chambers in totality are fantastic now, and even then they were really cool and really interesting additions to the game. We have a replayable dungeon, more or less. That's really cool for servers. It's really cool for single player worlds because it means you have an opportunity to loot something more than once, and it'll actually still be slightly worth your time. But beyond this, we saw the breeze, which was a really fun new mob, although at the time I think it didn't have any drops yet. Eventually it got the breeze charge and the breeze rods, and of course from that the mace. But the breeze charge is also a very cool tool that you can use to jump around and do different things, and it's led to some very interesting adventure maps that are really cool. And the breeze itself is just a really fun and really interesting new mob. And then of course the trial spawner has tons and tons of applications for map makers. The things that you can do with it are insane. And moving on beyond the trial chambers, we have the crafter and the copper bulb, 2 redstone components that are massive game changers to people who do things with redstone. We can finally condense a T flip-flop down to a single block. The crafter, of course, is fantastic. It automates more and more things, which I absolutely love to see that kind of thing. But let's talk about some of the things that we got along the way up to where we are now. Of course, we got vaults. Vaults are like the biggest thing in my mind. I've talked about before why I think the vaults and the trial spawners could change Minecraft forever, especially for like multiplayer servers. But God, this is such a great addition to the game. The ability to open up a vault and have items pop out of it from any given loot table is really big, and I don't think enough people are utilizing it. You can actually make this work with data packs as well, and you could even change the vault to open with any item you want. So let's say, for example, you wanted to put vaults in a desert pyramid, but you weren't really sure how you would get them to work with trial keys. You don't need to use trial keys. In fact, you can just have it use some kind of sandstone, some kind of drop from a husk. It could be literally anything that you wanted it to be, any item, any block, anything. You just right click the vault and it opens up. And the data pack loot table that you could use could be one from vanilla. You could just use the desert temple chest already, or you could use your own custom one if you wanted to. And it's so amazing, the flexibility and the creative opportunities that come from the vault itself. And beyond this, we now have ominous trials and ominous vaults, which are a great addition for veteran players. It's the kind of thing that I asked for in my progression video, which I'm sure you've all seen by now. And if you haven't, you're one of the few. But these changes with these extra difficult dungeon opportunities are really awesome for long-term players because, hell, I mean, we've been playing the game for a long time. We know how to get past and get around most mobs. Having a harder and more difficult version of these trials is really fun, and it's something really cool. And they didn't just make the mobs harder. They went above and beyond, gave them new potion effects, gave them all kinds of crazy stuff, but we'll talk a little bit more about that later. Another thing that this update did, it's a little bit of a smaller change, is they changed how raid farms work. Like when you raid, like when there's a raid on a village, they've changed that entirely. You can't farm them as easily now, which I think is really cool. I don't know too much about that in particular, but I do know that that's been changed in a negative or positive way, depending on how you view that. And of course, we got a totally new and unique mob in the form of the Bogged. The Bogged is a fantastic mob. I think it's really fun. It looks great. It's a really cool mechanic that it just shoots poison arrows, and it has a little bit less health, and it shoots arrows a little slower than the normal skeleton. I absolutely love to see other mob variants, and I love that it spawns in the swamp. It's a new update to the swamp. More things in the swamp. Absolutely love it. Beyond this, of course, we got the brand new weapon, a totally unique item in the trial chambers, the mace. This at first was an extremely overpowered weapon, and I think that Mojang did this intentionally to get us all super hyped about using it, but it seems that after some feedback and after some playtesting, they've realized this thing is a little too crazy. So they've toned it down a little bit, but it's still a fantastic and really fun and unique weapon. Of course, all of its new enchantments are great, and all of its new tactics that it brings to PvP or fighting mobs is also great too. Alongside this kind of stuff, we got 4 new potion effects. We now have the oozing potion effect, which spawns slimes on death. We have the wind charge, which causes a wind burst on death. We have infested, which spawns silverfish when hit, and weaving, which can spawn cobwebs. This stuff is really, really good. These sorts of things will make custom dungeons really, really fun to go through, and they add a ton, I really do mean a ton of new content to the game. Tons of new opportunities. Of course, we also got 20 new paintings to the game, which I haven't even looked at them all, but they're beautiful. They're just gorgeous. They're really working well with the art here. And we also have a brand new soundtrack that I think really, really closely rivals C418's Alpha from 2011. It is a really, really good soundtrack that encompasses everything Minecraft should be. It's up there for me. Probably my number 2 favorite. And of course, along with that, we got 3 new music discs. These are fantastic, of course, they're part of the soundtrack. I encourage you, by the way, to go on Spotify or Apple Music to just listen to this soundtrack. It is a really good one. You're not going to regret it at all. It's beautiful, it puts you in the mood, gets you all calmed and ready to play Minecraft, and it's really, really fun. Overall, the update so far just seems to be a very, very creative and fun and very artistic update, and I really enjoy that. But there's something deeper with this update. There's something that has kind of gone under the radar a little bit. People don't really talk about it because it's not as flashy and as exciting looking as a new structure with new fancy mobs and new enchantments and all kinds of crazy stuff going on. There was an entire change to how NBT data works in Minecraft. This, my friends, is the website MC Stacker. It is one of the best tools you can use for doing anything in Minecraft. We are using the 1.20.5 latest version, and this is going to showcase all of the new changes that we're going through here. So let's say that I wanted to give myself a diamond sword. Let me show you what this would look like on the old MC Stacker. So this is what MC Stacker used to look like. We're gonna go ahead and give ourselves a diamond sword on here. And you can see this is the way it was for a long time. This is pretty basic stuff here. You can change the name of the weapon. You can change the lore of it. You can change how much durability it's already been taken down. You can change the repair cost. You can make it unbreakable. You can see how many you can give people. All kinds of different stuff here. You see all the enchantments that we've got going on here. You can see all kinds of cool stuff going on here. But you'll see here in modifiers, we've got a few things. We have just these basic little modifiers here. We have things like luck, armor, movement speed, and you can change where they go, what slot you have to be doing, this kind of thing. This is pretty basic fun stuff. If we go over to the latest version of MC Stacker, you'll notice that this has changed and expanded considerably. And this is fantastic. Beyond this, there was just so much more going on in here than before. We could change the max stack size, you can change how many it is, you can change the durability of the item itself, you can change whether or not it burns in lava, you can do so much. You can change the color of it right here just by making it a rarer item. You can give it all kinds of crazy custom stuff. You can make it break certain things, you can hide its tooltips, same enchantments and stuff, you can hide all the flags. But this is, so you can make it food, which I think is interesting. But you can also make any food give you any effect. That's right, you can make any food give you any effect. Oh, that's crazy. So this is the single biggest change to Minecraft since 1.13. For those of you who don't know, 1.13 I think was called the flattening update by some people because it flattened a lot of the how the items were named, and I think it also kind of killed the FPS. So maybe it goes to killing the FPS, but it changed how items were done, changed how NBT data was done. It basically changed the syntax of all the commands in Minecraft. And we've been using the same style from 1.13 up through 1.20. And now, with the latest version, we have a whole new way of doing things. And it's fantastic. This is so much simpler and so much more expansive. The amount of things that I can do with this is way beyond what I was able to do before with the old system. So let's say, for example, I can't give myself a vault for some reason. Can I give myself a trial spawner? I cannot give myself a trial spawner yet. MC Stacker hasn't added it. But let's say I give myself a diamond pickaxe. I misspelled pickaxe. Let's give myself a diamond pickaxe. We can now see a lot of the same stuff here, but we can also change what it can. Well, that's the same as well. And of course, we have all these fancy new modifiers. We can do this to literally anything. Literally anything. Any item, anything can be changed in this manner. And that's really, really cool. That's really fancy stuff. It is now easier than ever to create your own custom items in Minecraft. You can now make your own custom enchantments with the latest snapshot. This, my friends, is the deeper part of 1.21. This entire change to how things are formatted. For example, let's do one real quick. I want to give myself a diamond that when I hold it in my offhand, let's say it gives me some max absorption. We'll do a single amount and we'll put it in my offhand. This is what that looks like in here. That's a pretty simple command. And if I want to do the same thing in the previous version, I just go here to diamond. Whoops, I misspelled diamond. Go back here and I just change this to absorption if that's a thing. Oh, it's not. Oh, yes, it is. Okay. And then I put it in my offhand. And you can see this is a very different command. A very, very different command. And I think that's fun. But this goes for every item. If I want to name it something different, I can give it a name. But beyond that, I can also give it the actual item name as different. That's insane. I can literally change the name of the item itself. I could call this thing Bill. It is no longer Diamond. It is now Bill. Like, this is insane. Because you can also change the name of it here. I could just call it Bill's Diamond, right? And now the name that pops up will be Bill's Diamond, but the name below will just be Bill. This is great. What this does is basically means, like, if you want to make a custom sword that does 9 damage and has a certain swing speed, this is all stuff you could do before, by the way. Now, if someone changes the name of that sword, you can still have it say the original name of the sword you wanted it to have. So let's say I want to name this sword Long Sword. Right? Someone could take this sword into an anvil and change the name of it in the previous versions. Well, now they can change the name of it. Let's say we call it Gary's Longsword, right? And then you would still see this name, but below it, the item name, Longsword, will now still be present. This is really cool because before it would just say like generic diamond, I guess in this case, but it would actually say like a diamond sword or an iron sword, right? But you can change so much. And in previous versions, I couldn't change the durability. So I had to basically use enchantments to do this. So I would have like titanium tools, or I'd have like steel plate stuff, and I couldn't change the durability on it in the base settings. I had to go through and do it with enchantments, with unbreaking and stuff like that. But now I can literally make anything that I want. I can do this with vaults, I can do this with trial spawners, I can do so much more now with MC Stacker whenever it gets updated, and with this new system. And that, my friends, is the true genius of the latest Minecraft update. It goes extremely deep into the core of what Minecraft is, and I love that. I love it. I get to create so many cool things with this, and I'm super excited to try it. But anyway, that's all for today's video. I just wanted to share my overall thoughts on 1.21 and, you know, give it a nice clickbaity title and tell you why it's better than you actually think it is. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I had a little bit of fun making it. It's very impromptu. I'm still working on the Apex Legends video and the Stardew Valley video as well. It's been taking me a while to work on these things. I have a lot of thoughts about Apex Legends in particular, and they're very, very mixed. So stick around for that video. It's going to be a really, really fun one, and I'm having a lot of fun making the video, and I'm having a little less fun actually playing Apex Legends, but I'm trying my best. And remember, become a member, and for $3 a month, you can get access to all these videos early and some other content and stuff like that. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys all in the next one. Bye-bye.